All right, so welcome to this part. So in order for us to actually view to-dos here, it is required, is a must that we must already have some to-dos inside our database for it to display here. Okay, so for that, what we are going to do, we are going to first of all add to-do to our Firebase, and before we can retrieve it. Okay, so but before I do that, I need to build the UI first. So I'm going to navigate to this page, which is the add notes page. I will go to the create notes page, and basically I'm just going to create two feeds. So one is going to be the title of the note. The second one is going to be the description, more like the body of the note. And then we're going to have a button here, more like a save button to actually save the to-do. Okay, so I'm just going to create, let me go to my home page. I'm going to create a floating action button. So for this, I will just copy this one we have here, and I'm going to paste it here. Okay, so more like save note. Alright, so save that. We have the save note stuff, and when we click on it, it's going to validate everything and then save the note for us. So I'm going to remove this and just leave it the way it is. So now I'm going to build the body. So the body basically is just going to be, I'm going to use a custom screw view so that I'll be able to scroll it in case we rotate the device, it will not break. Okay, so that is more like building a responsive interface. So I have the body. I'm going to use the custom screw view. So custom screw view, and it uses slivers. Okay, instead of children, it uses slivers. So first thing I want to do is to return the sliver box adapter. So this sliver box adapter will help me to use column and then build my body widget. Yeah, just use column and then build the widgets. Right, okay, so we have this, and it's going to be children. So here I'm going to have the title of the note, that is the feed, to actually display the title of the note, and this one is going to be the description of the note, like so. Okay, so for this stuff I'm going to be using form, because using form will actually help us to validate this stuff properly, so that way to allow us to show some red lines in case the feed is empty, and if it does not satisfy our condition. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'll just use a test form feed. Okay, and I'll give this some few decorations. So let's just say boss decoration. Yeah, for now let's just go with boss decoration, no, input decoration, sorry. And sorry, I said I was going to use form, but I've not put the form yet, but let that one just wait. So let me save this to actually see. Okay, there's an error somewhere, so I need to, okay, so save it. Let's see if we can see our, okay, so this is it, and it's showing. So currently I need to actually style it properly. So what I'll do, I'm going to remove this underline, but rather instead of removing it, I'm going to make it like a square underline. But before that, I think I need to wrap this stuff with a container. Okay, so give it a proper padding. Yep, and then wrap the container with a form key, but I won't do that now. So let me just give it a padding, and it's going to be .or, so let me just give it 20. Okay, so I want to give it that nice field so that there be space between. Okay, yeah, this is cool. And so right here now I'm going to use, okay, border. So I want to add some border to it, so I'll just use outline input border, and this should do. I don't need to do any more styling. So save it, and it should look nice now. Okay, yeah, this is cool now. So I can actually give it a label. So once you click on it, the label should just go up once it's selected. Okay, so I'm going to give it select, just put label here. So just tell the user, okay, note title. Yeah, so I can duplicate this again to actually have another one. So but before I do that, let me just have a size box to give it some spaces between the two widgets. So I'll give it a height of, let me just call this one 50, or no, 50 is too much, so let me just say 30. And then I can now have the widgets, which is the next one, which is actually the description right here, and I will say note description or note body. Yeah, that way to be better. So we have two widgets, note title and note body. All right, so this is how you can see how smooth it is when we change focus. So this one I want to make it a little bit big instead of small. So what I'll do, I'll just I'll give it maximum line or 7. Let's just name it 7. So save it, and yeah, and okay, so this is good. Yeah, we can go with this. Yeah, it's good. So we can actually go with this stuff. But if you want to make it to be smaller, but while the user is typing, you can press the enter key to actually increase it this way. We can just set the minimum lines to be 1. Okay, so this way if you save it to be like this one, this first one here. Okay, but now you can now type enter while you're typing, it will be increasing. You can see then till it gets to the maximum lines, just like that. But that's not what I want, so I just want to give it to be 7, or I can actually increase it to 10 or 8, whichever one. So let's just go with this one. So what I'm going to do next is to create the 2 controllers that will help us to retrieve this stuff. But before I do the controller, let me first of all wrap this stuff with a form. Now I'm more like setting a validator to it. Okay, so I'm going to wrap it with a widget, and that widget is going to be a form. Oops. Okay, then now this form requires a key, so I'm going to create the key and also the controllers for this test form feed. So I'm going to go here now and create the key for the form feed, so it will help us to actually validate the key. So I'll say form state like so. So I'll call this one key, and then we can now initialize it to be global key like so. And then I'm going to have a test form feed, which is for the title. So test identity controller, sorry, and I will call this one title, and test editing controller as well. Okay, like so. So I will change this stuff to E. Okay, key, yeah. And then no, not inside there, sorry, it should be inside the form, sorry. Okay, yeah, the key, and then the controller I'm going to have for the controller is going to be for title, and then I'll have the second controller for the body. Yeah, that's it. So I've successfully done those stuff, and now we have controller for this, and this stuff is wrapped with a form. Okay, so now inside this button I will do some validator shake. I first before I do that, I think I need to actually put some validator to this, okay, to actually check for the condition. So I don't know if it's inside there or here. So it's here. Okay, validator, and then it takes a value, which is actually the value that is inside whatever we type inside here. So I will check if the value is empty. So because we don't want to have any empty stuff, so if it is a null something, so I'm going to add this null operator. So if it's empty, I will just fill it in. Okay, then I'm going to do the same thing inside the body. So body 2 don't need to be empty. So what I'll do, I'll just put the validator here, and then I'll check if it's empty. So I will say body is empty. So that way you don't need to make them empty. All right. But if I run this now and click on this button, it's not actually doing anything. Okay. So what I'll do, I'll do inside here, I'll check I will validate. Okay. Remember the key we created, which is this, the form key, and I passed it inside this key inside the form. And then what I'll do, I'll just check for key dot current state. So if it's not empty, what we do, we just to add, okay, just save data to Firebase. All right, so that's it. But before that, let me just retrieve the test. So I'm just going to print, let me first of all create, okay, I'm just going to print the test of the title. So I'll call this one title. Okay, so remember we have already passed the controller inside here. So this one is just much more easier for us. We don't need to check if statement, if test dot is empty, then do this. If body is empty, do this. Just use a validator and it will do the checking for you. If it's an email, you can also use another statement again. If the email is not valid, then you throw another error. Okay, so I will save that. I think I need to do a hot restart here to test it properly. Okay, so now we are here. So if I click on this add note tonight, it will take us to this page. And guess what? If I click here, it's going to show me error based on the fields that are empty. Okay, so now you see title is empty, body is empty. But if I type in my body now, the error will move out from title and then it will show only in body because body is empty. Then if I type in body, so you see we're going to print out the test for us. Okay, so this is what we want. In the next video, we are going to integrate Firebase Firestore and then save the data to Cloud Firestore. All right.